Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. This week we'll make some peanut butter and jam babka. This bread is super sweet, soft, and it will go perfectly with your morning coffee. And this dough is very versatile. You could fill it with whatever you like. It doesn't have to be peanut butter and jam. I just had some peanut butter and jam laying around the house and I had to use it up, and it worked perfectly. And if you are into your sweet bakes and enriched doughs, click the link in the top right corner now, because I have a whole playlist with videos like that. But let's get on with this babka. It is super easy to make, and visually it looks really cool as well once it's baked. And it is so simple that even a complete beginner could make it. So keep watching to learn all about it. And as always, you'll find a full recipe with all the details, temperatures, weights and measurements in metric and imperial units down in the description box. So let's see what equipment we need. Starting with the usual suspects: bowl, scale, scraper. You'll need a rolling pin, a temperature probe, a loaf tin, some piping bags. They are optional, but they will make your life a lot easier, and a serrated bread knife. Now on to the ingredients. You need strong white bread flour, some milk, yeast, salt, sugar, some soft and unsalted butter, peanut butter, and some jam. And like I said, the piping bag will make your life a lot easier because the peanut butter is very hard to smear on the dough. So get your peanut butter and your jam in piping bags, set them aside. Now to make the dough, get a bowl, add your milk, sugar, yeast, salt. I'm using cold milk, by the way, from the fridge because my kitchen is quite warm. Now in goes the butter, give it a good stir around, and then add the flour. Now you can get your dough scraper and bring this together in one smooth mass. And once you have formed the dough, tip it out on the table and we can start kneading. So to knead the dough like this, I like to press down and forwards with the heel of my right hand and fold the piece of dough under the heel of my right hand using the fingers of my left hand, then turn and repeat. Once you get into it, it will become a fluent motion. Now if the dough starts sticking to your hands too much, what you can do is get your scraper, bring it together, scrape it off your hands, and we'll try using a different kneading method. This is called stretch and fold. You pick the dough up by one side, stretch it against the table and fold it over, and repeat. All in all, the total kneading time should not be more than 5 to 7 minutes. And if you want to learn more about kneading your dough by hand, click the link in the top right corner, because I have a video on that. But once your dough is nice and smooth and not too sticky anymore, we can start proofing it. But first, take the temperature. 24 to 25 degrees C is just about perfect. If you'd like to learn all about controlling dough temperature, also click the link in the top right corner. Well, let's get on with this. Cover your dough and let it ferment for 45 minutes. And after the first 45 minutes of proofing, we'll fold the dough. Folding will equalize the temperature in our dough, and it will create more layers in the gluten structure. To perform a fold, take your dough out, place it on a table, smooth side down, flatten it out, and then fold down the top third, and then fold over the bottom. And then turn it and roll it up into a tight loaf. And there are many different folding methods, which you can also check out on my channel. But once you folded your dough, tighten it against the table, make sure it's pointing smooth side up again, place it back into the bowl, cover it up, and we'll proof it for 45 more minutes. And now you should really see a difference in volume, it should puff up. And an hour and a half later, it's shaping time. And as you can see, this is a super simple process, anyone can do this. So to shape our babka, get the dough out on the table, get your rolling pin, make sure everything's nicely floured, you don't want any stickage. And what I like to do is start off with my hands and flatten it out and get it in a general shape. We will be rolling it out into a large rectangle. And once you've flattened it a little bit, get a rolling pin and start rolling. Try to get an even thickness as much as you can. But you know, if it's not even, I won't judge. So now it's filling time. Get your peanut butter, and what I like to do is to just pipe on stripes. And then pipe the jam in between, so that in every slice, in every bite, you'll get a little bit of each. And as I said earlier, smearing on the peanut butter will be quite difficult, because it's really hard. And you would most likely just end up distorting the dough, or even tearing a hole. Okay, the fillings are on, we can start rolling. I like to start from the bottom. Press down as you roll it, you don't want any air gaps inside the loaf. And once it's rolled up, what I like to do is wet my hands and just brush a little bit of water on the dough. to help it stick together. Now we can seal it up, clean down a bit, get a chopping board, get your serrated knife, and now it's time to make it look like a babka. As the peanut butter is quite sticky, it will tend to stick to the knife. That is why it's quite a lot easier to make a chocolate babka. But to counteract the stickiness, I recommend using a bit of flour. The peanut butter will still be sticky, don't get me wrong, but this will help. So just sprinkle a generous line right down the middle of the dough, and also sprinkle your knife. And when you cut, don't hesitate. Go in with a sawing motion, don't press down, just slice. And don't stop until you've gone all the way through. Now you can really see the layers inside. That's what we're after. You could also roll the dough out a lot larger before filling it. That will result in a lot more layers, but that's up to you. So to shape the final loaf, make sure that the cuts are pointing upwards. And you can stretch the pieces of dough out a little bit more. Now we need to twist these around each other. First, place them into an X shape, and then twist them towards one end, and then towards the other end. Now if you were to start from the top and twist down to the bottom, you'd most likely end up with an unevenly shaped loaf. That's why I like to start in the middle. But once it's all twisted up, get it into your loaf tin. Make sure the seams are pointing up, of course. Organize it a little bit, make sure it fills the gaps. And the babka has been shaped. Quite simple, right? Now just cover it with some cling film and we'll leave it for the final fermentation. And whilst the loaf is proofing, make sure to preheat your oven to 160°C with the fan on. And then leave this bad boy to rise for 1 hour. And it should puff up real nice during the final fermentation. And as you can see, this has risen nicely. And what you can do to test it is poke it with your finger. It should be nice and light. And when you shake it, it should have a little wobble about it. Now this is optional, but I like to glaze it before baking. I have whisked 1 egg yolk with 1 teaspoon of water. Just brush it on. A loaf of this size should not take more than 40 minutes of baking. And look at that beauty rise. Now once it comes out of the oven, don't take it out the tin right away. Make sure to let it set for at least 10 minutes. If you take it out too early, it will fall flat. And that's your babka. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something. I really hope that you'll try and make this. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down in comments, DM me on Instagram, and check out my other videos, because there are plenty of bread baking videos coming out every Wednesday and Sunday. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one.